Olivia Rodrigo and her boyfriend have broken up, and he was spotted on a hike with his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Lord.
And everyone thought they were like endgame, basically.
Totally.
Right?
Louis?
Yeah.
Louis.
I never know if it's Louis or Louis.
Before we get into all of this, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more celebrity drama, behind-the-scenes tea, and non-stop pop culture updates, because stories like this keep getting messier by the day. We seriously need to talk about the chaos blowing up around Olivia Rodrigo and her sudden breakup from Louis Partridge, because this situation is getting louder by the hour. Rumors are flying everywhere, fans are dissecting every lyric, and people are already convinced her next album is about to spill way more than she planned. Blind items keep dropping, hinting that whatever went down behind the scenes wasn't clean, wasn't calm, and definitely wasn't mutual. Olivia and Louis were linked for nearly 2 years, first sparking buzz in late 2023 after they were spotted together in London on low-key dates that felt very intentional. Louis, best known for his role in Enola Holmes, was quickly becoming a rising name, and fans loved the idea of them as this artsy, private power couple. By December 2023, he was already deep in her circle, showing up at Jingle Ball in New York with Olivia's friends, which basically confirmed they were more than just rumors. Even though they tried to keep things quiet, they weren't invisible either. In 2024, they went public in a big way at the Venice Film Festival, walking the red carpet together and looking locked in. While Olivia was dominating stages on her Guts tour, Louis was constantly spotted in the crowd, supporting her non-stop front and center like a proud boyfriend. Then came the Deluxe album drop, and that's when fans really started connecting dots. Olivia released So American, her first full-on love song, and people instantly clocked it as being about Louis. Lyrics like "he laughs at all my jokes and he says I'm so American" had fans convinced this was her soft era, which makes the breakup hit even harder now. "Oh God, it's just not fair of him to make me feel this much. I'd go anywhere he goes. He says I'm so American. Oh God, I'm gonna marry him. If he keeps this up, I might just be in LA 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 love." Those lyrics hit completely different now, and fans are clocking it fast. Around October, Olivia and Louis were still showing strong couple energy, celebrating their 2-year anniversary with a subtle but very clear nod on social media. Olivia posted "You plus me equals heart," along with candle holders that fans believe were meant to represent the two of them, and people were convinced everything was solid. Then things suddenly took a strange turn. In November, a blind item surfaced claiming Olivia Rodrigo and Louis Partridge had quietly broken up, and almost no one believed it at the time. The rumor was discussed on the Daily Dirty, which was honestly the only place really pushing this story back then. They got heavy backlash for it too, with fans saying there was no way this could be true since the couple had just marked 2 years together. But now, fast forward to this week, and the story suddenly feels much more real. The Sun reported they had an exclusive claiming Olivia and Louis officially called it quits a few weeks ago. According to that report, despite appearing composed in public photos, Olivia reportedly broke down emotionally at Lily Allen's star-studded Sexy Santa party held at Stringfellows. A source claimed they were seen as a genuinely lovely couple, which is why people close to them were shocked. It was described as not the easiest few weeks behind the scenes, and the decision to step apart was said to be mutual, at least for now. Olivia was reportedly emotional while talking about it at the party, with friends rallying around her as she tried to get through a really rough moment. It's honestly really sad right now because this breakup completely blindsided people. Just back in September, Louis Partridge spoke to Variety about Olivia Rodrigo, and he made it sound like everything between them was solid and calm. The article even pointed out how fast his career has been rising, with his name moving higher up the call sheet while he was also returning as Tewksbury in Enola Holmes 3, opposite Millie Bobby Brown, which filmed earlier this year. Louis openly acknowledged that a lot of people still associate him primarily as Olivia's partner, and he didn't seem bothered by it at all. He said, smiling, that he could handle being known as Mr. Olivia Rodrigo, adding that he'd had that title for a while and that he was very happy, and that he believed she was happy too. He even said, "So all is good in our world. which is why this breakup news landed like a complete shock to fans. What's even wilder is that Blind Items are now claiming this didn't just shock the public, but Olivia herself as well. Accounts like Dumois sparked speculation asking whether Olivia was blindsided by the breakup, suggesting she may not have seen it coming at all. That idea alone has fans spiraling because everything publicly pointed to them being in a really good place. Since the breakup news dropped, the comments online have been messy. People keep saying things like, "This is sad, but the next album is gonna hit," and honestly, those takes are not it. Wanting someone to be heartbroken just so they make better music is actually pretty grim, and it completely ignores that she's a real person going through something painful. On top of that, there's a big chance the album is already finished. Olivia has had a long gap since her last release. She's had downtime after tour, she's posted studio photos, and she's been teasing OR3 for a while now. Her team has clearly been setting the stage for a 2026 release, which makes it very likely this project was written during a time when she was still deeply in love. If anything, a lot of these songs were probably created during her happiest era with Lewis, when things felt stable and exciting. That's why fans are now wondering if this album will lean more toward love, warmth, and soft moments rather than pure heartbreak, especially with tracks like So American setting the tone for that period of her life. But here's where things get really complicated, because what's coming out now is that the album is basically finished, and that's exactly the problem. The vibe everyone's getting is that she doesn't want to put it out anymore, period. So all those people saying, "Oh my gosh, the next album is going to be amazing?" Yeah, maybe amazing in 2030, because right now, it is absolutely not feeling like it's dropping anytime soon. Unless she puts on the bravest face imaginable. And honestly, massive respect if she does, because everything suggests she doesn't want to. It sounds like the record label is pushing for it, but trying to imagine having to go out and promote an album tied so closely to a relationship that just ended is rough. Picture sitting through interview after interview, being asked in-depth questions about lyrics, emotions, memories, and who each song is about, knowing exactly where those feelings came from. And let's be real, if she's doing press, they are absolutely going to ask how she felt when she wrote certain lines, what inspired them, and who they were about. Having to explain love songs about someone you're no longer with, especially when the breakup is still fresh, sounds brutal. If they're not together anymore, that kind of emotional rewind would be exhausting and painful, and it makes total sense why she'd want to avoid it. Because of that, it's starting to sound like she's doing everything she can to stop this album from coming out and instead go back to square one. And honestly, from her perspective, it makes sense. She hasn't really promoted it at all. Nobody knows the album title, no track list has been released, no singles are out, and there's been zero official rollout. In her mind, it probably feels like, we can just redo this entire thing and no one would even know. There's a big difference between already releasing an album and dealing with a breakup during tour versus being right at the starting line, with nothing public yet. At this stage, it probably feels easier to walk away quietly than to emotionally reopen everything in front of the world. Blind Item chatter seems to back this up too. Blind Adam appeared to confirm that the album is done and that she doesn't want to release it, while Dumois posted a subject titled "The Unlucky One," saying, "While I don't have any information regarding the reasons this A-list singer and her British boyfriend ended their relationship, I have it on good authority," which only added more fuel to the speculation that something big shifted behind the scenes. All signs point to a major reset happening quietly. And fans are starting to realize that this era might never arrive the way it was originally planned. According to what's circulating right now, she was completely blindsided by this breakup, and it's hitting her hard on every level, both personally and professionally. And the professional fallout is where things get really tense. Apparently, the lead single from Olivia Rodrigo's third studio album was already locked in, fully ready to go, and even had a release date set for February 13th, literally the day before Valentine's Day. The actual song title hasn't been revealed, but the concept alone is wild. The track reportedly focused on her no longer believing in superstitions or bad luck because she thought she'd finally found her Prince Charming. And if you read that again carefully, people are already side-eyeing what the intended album title might have been. Everything about this rollout was screaming romance, optimism, and love. It doesn't stop there either. A music video was allegedly scheduled to be filmed in mid-January in London, and from what's been said, it was meant to be a full love letter to the city. The visuals were heavily inspired by early 2010s British music videos from artists she grew up watching, giving that nostalgic, dreamy, cinematic vibe that fans would absolutely eat up. But here's the real problem. She reportedly refuses to even entertain the idea of going through with any of it now. With him out of the picture, she wants to scrap everything completely and start from zero. The label is said to be extremely unhappy about this, but she's also one of their biggest stars, so they're stuck trying to negotiate instead of force her hand. From what's being whispered, the label is hoping there might be a middle ground. Maybe there are a few songs on the album that aren't about him at all. Songs where she leaned more into creativity than romance, and those could be salvaged. The idea would be to keep those and quietly toss out the love-heavy tracks, but even that sounds like a tough sell right now. Fans have also been speculating heavily about the album title. A lot of people think it was going to be called Luck, especially since Olivia is known for one-word album titles like Sour and Guts. The blind item subject line, The Unlucky One, only added fuel to that theory, making people feel like this wasn't a coincidence at all. Of course, all of this could be completely wrong. It's still possible we get OR3 next year, maybe even that Valentine's release, or maybe none of this was ever fully locked in. But ever since the Sun broke the breakup news, these details have been circulating nonstop and they've completely changed how fans are looking at what comes next. But yeah, for everyone saying the next album is about to hit so hard, it might actually be giving delayed energy instead. And honestly, I just feel bad for her because if this album was written as a collection of love songs, she probably imagined it as this big shared moment between the two of them. Then suddenly, boom, breakup! Who wants to go out and promote an album full of old loving memories when you're clearly in a stage of mourning and emotional shock? I genuinely can't even imagine having to relive those feelings in interviews, performances, and press runs. Sitting there explaining lyrics that were written in a completely different emotional space would be exhausting. That said, Olivia Rodrigo is no stranger to very public breakups, and we've seen her survive this level of scrutiny before. Everyone remembers the massive viral storm after she released Driver's License back in 2021. The internet immediately assumed it was about Joshua Bassett, and things spiraled fast. People connected dots, timelines were dissected, and suddenly it came out that Joshua was dating Sabrina Carpenter shortly after. Then came the music videos, the lyrical comparisons, and Sabrina releasing Skin, which people saw as direct shade. That whole situation was chaotic, loud, and impossible to escape. So yeah, Olivia has handled public heartbreak before, and she came out stronger on the other side. Still, that doesn't mean this doesn't hurt deeply. This was one of her longest relationships, and it genuinely felt like her first real adult relationship. Writing all those songs, being so close to releasing them, and then having everything collapse at the last second is a brutal emotional whiplash. Right now, this is what's being said about Olivia and Louis, and the situation feels heavy, uncertain, and unresolved. Do you think the album will be delayed? Do you think she should scrap it and start over, or push through and release it anyway? How would you handle this if you were in her position? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy deep dives like this, and I'll see you on the next one.